You matched with someone on a Tuesday. The conversation was good, actually good. You met twice, maybe 3 times. Something was there, and then one day, nothing, no explanation. They just stopped responding. You told yourself it was fine. You went back to the app. You started swiping again, but somewhere underneath that, a quieter thought, what's wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. The system is broken, and once you understand how, you'll never look at modern dating the same way again. In 1995, if you wanted to meet someone, you went outside. You talked to the person next to you in class. You got set up by a friend. Your pool was small. Your options were limited. That sounds terrible, but there's something psychologist Barry Schwartz calls the paradox of choice, and it changes everything. When you have too many options, you don't feel free. You feel paralyzed, and worse, whatever you choose, you feel worse about it because you know there were other options. You start to wonder, is this person actually right for me, or did I just settle? Tinder alone processes over 1.6 billion swipes per day. Each swipe is a micro decision. Is this person good enough? Could I do better? The answer to could I do better is always theoretically yes, because there's always another profile. So you don't commit. You keep browsing, not because you're shallow, but because the interface is designed to prevent you from stopping. And here's the thing nobody tells you. More choice doesn't just make commitment harder. It makes satisfaction impossible. Because the moment you choose someone, your brain starts running the alternative timeline, the one where you kept swiping, the one where someone better was just a few profiles away. That's not a character flaw. That's what happens when you put human beings inside a system designed for infinite browsing. Modern dating also taught us to approach other people like products. You filter, you match, you optimize, you look for someone who checks the most boxes, and that sounds rational, but is completely wrong for how love actually works. Research from Northwestern University followed thousands of couples and found that the traits people say they want in a partner have almost zero correlation with who they actually fall for in real life. We think we want someone tall, successful, and funny. What we actually respond to is presence, vulnerability, and timing. Dating apps can't measure those things, so they measure what they can measure: age, photo, bio, and we mistake that for meaningful filtering. The result: people with perfectly compatible profiles meet, have nothing, and go back to swiping, while people who would have been great together never match because one of them wasn't photogenic on a Tuesday in 2019. We're optimizing for the wrong variables, and the optimization itself is making us worse at actually connecting. But there's something deeper going on, something the research doesn't fully capture, but that almost everyone in modern dating has felt. It's not that people are afraid of relationships. Most people want one. It's that modern dating makes commitment feel like the irrational choice. Think about it from the inside. You meet someone, things are going well, but in the back of your mind, there are thousands of other people on the app right now. What if one of them is better? What if you commit to this person and then meet someone else in 6 months and realize you chose too early? So you wait. You wait for certainty that never comes because certainty was never available in the first place. No amount of dates, no amount of information, no amount of compatibility algorithms will ever tell you that this person is definitively the right one. That answer doesn't exist. And while you're waiting for it, the connection slowly drains out of the thing in front of you. The terrifying truth about modern dating is that it has made perfectly reasonable people afraid to choose, not because they don't feel anything, but because the system has convinced them that feeling something isn't enough, that there should be data, that there should be certainty, that love should be optimizable. It isn't. It never was. There's one more thing apps introduced that didn't exist before: consequence-free exit. When you met someone through a friend, through work, through your neighborhood, disappearing was socially costly. You'd see them again. Mutual friends would ask questions. There was accountability. Now there's none. Ghosting, just vanishing without explanation, has become the default. And researchers at the University of Illinois found that being ghosted is psychologically more damaging than being rejected outright because it leaves the brain in a state of unresolved ambiguity. You can't move on from something that has no ending. And here's the dark loop. The easier ghosting becomes, the more people do it. The more it happens to you, the more emotionally guarded you become. The more guarded you become, the less genuine connection is possible. The less genuine connection you find, the more you swipe. None of this means love is impossible. It means the system you're using is not designed to help you find it. The research is surprisingly consistent. The couples who do well long term are not the ones who found the most compatible match on paper. They're the ones who chose someone and then chose them again every day. Psychologist Eli Finkel, who spent a decade studying online dating, concluded that apps can help you meet people, but they fundamentally cannot simulate the chemistry that emerges from real-life interaction. His recommendation: use apps to get in the room and then put the phone away. The second thing the research says, depth beats breadth. The people who dated fewer people but invested more in each connection consistently reported better outcomes than people who maximized their number of matches. The problem with modern dating isn't that people don't want love. Almost everyone does. The problem is that we built a system that makes love feel irrational, that turns other human beings into options, commitment into risk, and walking away into the smart move. Real connection has always required something the algorithm cannot provide: the decision to stop looking, not because you found perfection, but because you found someone worth being fully present for. The most romantic thing you can do in 2024 isn't to find the perfect person. It's to put the phone down and actually be there for the imperfect one in front of you. That's not settling. That's how it's always worked. We just forgot. Most people are asking the same questions. Few take the time to explore them. Keep exploring.